Hello and welcome, and in this video we will be telling you what Lily Collins says about her character in Emily in Paris. You might not be 22, but I gotta say, you do act like it sometimes, the actress wrote. Emily Cooper is désolé. Just a reminder of how you can enter our new giveaway in which you can win a new iPhone 12 Pro or a new MacBook Pro. Just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and watch the whole video till the end. Lily Collins, who plays the titular role on Netflix's Emily in Paris, admitted on Friday that she had gotten mixed up about her character's age after saying in a recent interview that Emily is actually much younger than herself. "Emily looking at me when I get her age wrong," the 31-year-old actress wrote on her Instagram stories, sharing a gif of her character making a face. "Sorry, girl. You might not be 22, but I gotta say, you do act like it sometimes," she added. In an interview with British Vogue, published on October the 6th, Collins said that she believed Emily was in her early 20s. "I don't believe we've ever given her a specific number for her age, but I believe she's pretty fresh out of college. Maybe this is her first year after graduation. I want to say she's like 22-ish, the star explained. She's had enough experience at her company in Chicago to have earned the respect of her boss, she said of Emily, who moves last minute to Paris for work in the pilot episode. She's a smart cookie and really innovative. And this is not her first rodeo doing what she does. She's gone to school for this, and she's completed internships. But while Emily may have plenty of work experience, Collins said her character has some catching up to do when it comes to French culture. However, she's not the person who traveled during college, the unfiltered author shared. She was really focused on her jobs in the Midwest, and I don't think she's been abroad. Basically, she's always kind of been a big fish in a small pond, and then suddenly in Paris, she's a fish out of water. If she had gone to a different company in Chicago, she would have been taken seriously, but in Paris, she's not prepared for the cultural shift that she experiences at Xavier. Her only real experience of Europe is through movies and TV. Created by Sex and the City's Darren Star, Emily in Paris also stars Ashley Park, Philippine Leroy Beaulieu, Lucas Bravo, Samuel Arnold, Camille Razat, Bruno Guri, Kate Walsh, William Abadi, and Arnaud Viard. The series premiered on Netflix on October the 2nd. Do you know that Lily Collins' personal style is nothing like Emily in Paris? Lily Collins may have had a lot of fun wearing fancy over-the-top looks as Emily Cooper in Netflix's Emily in Paris, but her own wardrobe, especially its most special pieces, is quite different. Lily just shared her 5 most special items of clothing in a video for British Vogue, and it's far less Emily-esque. For starters, there's no hot pink or ruffles anywhere. The first item on Emily's list is a hoodie sweatshirt from her high school. "At this point, I consider this vintage," Emily says. The green zip-up hoodie features the logo of a teen therapy and support group she was part of in her school days. "I believe that experience helped shape my motives. Now, as an adult, in creating communication among young people and expressing how we all go through the same emotions, and we're never alone," Emily shares, adding that she cuddles with it or wears it when she needs comfort. The second item is a pair of classic Levi's jeans, which she wore to the Last Channel show designed by Karl Lagerfeld. "I love the idea of mixing jeans with an incredibly detailed shirt that I wore," she says. "I loved the combination of incredibly chic and down-to-earth and wearable that Karl loved." Item 3 is a very un-Emily suede jacket that Lily got while filming the show in Paris, which she says was a total steal. "I love the fact that it has this emblem on the inside that says, 'Save the Forest.'" The actor has been wearing the coat on road trips with her fiancé and dog, and it's the perfect mix of outdoorsy and stylish. The fourth item on Emily's fave list is a pair of Chanel shoes that she wore to the Krillin debutante ball in Paris. She wore a vintage Chanel dress with the white peep-toe pumps, and the dress actually got ripped by said shoes as she ran down Paris. The final piece is Lily's crown from the 2018 Heavenly Bodies Met Gala, which she wore with her Givenchy Haute Couture gown. I love collaborating with my hair and makeup team and stylists during the Met Ball, and the fact that I got to keep this was really, really special, she says. I don't always get to wear it, but I love to look at it on occasion. Lily's mix of essentials is sentimental and sweet, and while there may not be much Emily Cooper would wear for a workday at Savoy, we think she'd appreciate the Chanel references. And find a way to rock that crown at a big brand event. For these stay-at-home days, though, Lily is relying on sweatpants and, honestly, same. Lily Collins called the Emily in Paris criticism a learning experience. Fluffy, escapist Netflix series Emily in Paris managed to draw criticism for just about everything: the plot, the characters, the setting, and the clothes. However, star and producer Lily Collins told Vogue Arabia that reading all of the comments, negative or not, gave her the opportunity to learn and to improve on things if the show gets another season. Collins admitted that the negativity was disheartening to read about how impossible it seemed for Emily to be 22-ish years old, for French work culture to seem so lackadaisical, and for a social media editor to grow her following so quickly with such a loose command of hashtags. As disheartening as it sometimes is to read these things, it's also a gift, she said. You're being allowed to improve. Collins also told the magazine that she's interested in evolving both the character of Emily and her narrative if there is a potential second season. Creator Darren Star already shared a few ideas of his own. I don't know about season 2 yet, but I think Emily has some surprising tough choices, he told E! News. The show's so much about the culture undermining her expectations of how things are and how things seem. And everything will not be as it seems. It's always about challenging her American worldview. We certainly have a lot of forks in the road and a lot of places to go. He added that he just set out to provide the world with 10 episodes of escapism, not hard-hitting social commentary. I hope it's just pure entertainment for 10 episodes, and that it gives people this sort of vicarious travel experience to Paris at a time when we can't go, he added. We were filming this a year ago, and it was hard to imagine what the world would become. I think that it's just a great way to travel. When actress Lily Collins is asked to describe her newly anointed trademark role of Emily Cooper, the headlining character of Netflix's buzziest new series, Emily in Paris, Collins keeps it candid. She's bright and bold, and I love that she's a little bit obvious, Collins tells Bazaar.com. She's unapologetically herself at the end of the day. Emily, who at this point is on the mononymous level with Madonna and Prince, and Mariah with no last name needed, seemingly overnight has become the center of a cultural conversation regarding what truly makes viral, can't miss, must binge television. In a year when the political and cultural circumstances of our nation can be described at best as bleak, Emily in Paris has provided hours of light-hearted, kitschy, whimsical, romantic, and, let's face it, unrealistic joy. The show follows its main character, a Midwest-made, Chicago-based marketing associate who takes her boss's place for a once-in-a-lifetime work opportunity that requires relocating to Paris to bring the American perspective to a brilliantly bougie, luxury advertising firm. Though yes, Emily finds herself surrounded by a slew of Parisian clichés, not limited to croissants, berets, wine, and gorgeous, outwardly horny men. She also represents the new age millennial, confident, work-obsessed, and a little self-absorbed but harmlessly so, for Collins, whose resume is brimming with dramatic films like Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, and David Fincher's upcoming Mank, exploring Emily's world, was a refreshing detour. When I first read this script, I was willing to fight to even get in a room to audition. I read the pilot, which was the first 2 episodes combined, and everything from the fact that it was a Darren Star show to the fact that it was based fully in Paris and would be the first American show to shoot completely in Paris, and the fact that I've wanted to do a romantic comedy role for a long time, says Collins. I do tend towards slightly darker, more emotional, harder to speak about topics in terms of my roles. I was craving some sort of lightness, some sort of romantic comedy of sorts. After reading Emily, Collins says that she found the character to be so inspiring but also real. She's someone that I wanted to aspire to be more like in a sense that she's so resourceful, she's so optimistic, she's so driven. These are all qualities that I associate with wanting to be more of every single day, says Collins. To see a character who is so themselves, and even when faced with obstacles, maintains that sense of self and doesn't apologize for it, and is also very, very outspoken about the fact that she loves to work, and that work makes her happy. She doesn't have to hide the fact that she's very driven, and you can be a romantic and be someone who's work-oriented. You don't have to choose between the two, and it's a positive attribute to be a woman who loves to work. I loved that. Because the series is the latest creation from showrunner Darren Star, the mastermind behind Sex and the City, Emily in Paris, was quickly compared to the hit HBO series leading up to its October premiere. Not to mention the master designer behind SATC's costuming, legendary stylist Patricia Field, also served as head consultant for the sartorial choices in Emily in Paris. Though Collins credits Carrie Bradshaw as one of the television's most iconic characters, she and Starr both agree that Emily in Paris is its own story for a new generation, rather than a younger version of SATC clinging onto its predecessor's legacy. If you watched the video till now, we are sure you liked it. Please drop a like and subscribe to our channel, and click on the videos flashing on your screen for more entertainment.